welcome. The second opening today. We were just at the Linda Vista Park for the opening of the Linda Vista Trail. It's such an amazing walk from over there to the McClellan Ranch. And now I'm so excited that we are opening up the McClellan Ranch Garden finally. So this garden was originally constructed in the 1970s. After 50 years, it was in desperate need of makeover, and then we had the rodent problems, and then if you have walked through the garden before and then compare with now, it's such a dramatic difference. And now we can enjoy the garden bed, and I see that everyone has their different solution for keeping the birds out and naturally, and then we can enjoy the flowers, the fruits, the vegetables as we walk through the garden, and the gate will be open for everyone to enjoy. The city has set aside funding for funding this garden. However, it has been expensive, but thanks to the innovative solutions by the staff, we were able to cut the cost down significantly. And most importantly, we also had a lot of volunteers who also helped make the garden possible. And this garden grows. This garden also helped connect the community together. We hope that, and together with this garden, the city also funded satellite gardens throughout the city. And as during the year of pandemic, I think garden industry is actually growing. So we hope that then this would inspire more people to garden, and then we will be happy to have more gardens like this throughout Cupertino. This really strengthens us, connect us together, and I think this garden would be good to go for another 50 years. Yeah. So I'd like to thank the effort, the hard work of Public Works and the Parks and Rec Department. Many of you made this possible. And I know there are a lot of problems to solve, and you find a way to solve them within budget. Thank you very much. And this garden would not be possible also without the Parks and Rec Commission. And there have been so many versions of this garden that we walk through and trying to reduce the cost and still make it possible, and how big is the lot size, and then even the policies. I think the commissioner worked really hard on that. So I'd like to invite the chair, Carol Stanek, to come and speak a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I've been on the Parks and Rec Commission for 7 years now, and it's been our pleasure to get input from the community on how this should look. It is so much nicer than it ever was. There's so many people to thank. I just want to give some of the details. There are 107 beds, not including the master gardener beds, of which there are 5. And we really like to thank the UC Master Gardeners of Santa Clara County for their input and advice all the way through. It is invaluable to us and to the community. Right now, we have 8 ADA beds, so those are accessible to people who otherwise wouldn't be able to garden here. Right now, 74 of the beds are currently under permits, and so there are still a few beds available as the city works through a wait list and the community members agree to the policies and procedures. And one of the things that I think will be much improved from the gardens as they were is the management. And it takes a partnership with the gardeners to make sure that the plots continue to be managed and worked. And so we thank all the gardeners for that. I'd also like to thank all the gardeners for their input during all this time, because we wanted to listen to you. What did you want in the gardens? And what were the things that you needed? And on the commission, that's really our role, is to go and get feedback from the from the gardeners and from the community. So thank you so much for that. While I've just been here, I've been talking to the master gardeners, and they just mentioned that they delivered 20 pounds of food from the gardens to West Valley Community Services. And thank you so much. And in their effort, so I want to give a shout out, there is a flyer over here that they have come up with Plant an Extra Row. And their idea is, now that your plants are growing, they're asking the other gardeners to plant a row to donate their excess produce for the worthwhile cause of West Valley Community Services. And so that is just giving back is what it's all about. So I'd like to thank the gardeners for their patience all through this process. As you know, as commissioners, we're not here all the time. Politicians come and go. Even our staff has had lots of turnover, and you have had to deal with lots of people and bring us all up to speed along the way. And we thank you again for your patience and your input through all of that. So thank you for the fruits, and I was just handed a couple of tomatoes from the Cummings. Thank you very much. I didn't pick these myself. Shout out to our gardeners there. And now I'll turn it back over to Vice Mayor Liang.
Thank you. I forgot to mention that the mayor wouldn't have missed this opening but unfortunately he's still under the weather on this today, so he really would have liked to attend. And next, I'd like to welcome our new Parks and Rec director, Joanne Magrini, to come. And so thank you for all the hard work of all the staff members.
Good morning. Thanks for coming out today. Not so new, but I've been here a little over a year, and it's so great to see everybody in person and get to meet people. I just want to say, as I look out at the garden that, has been under construction, and now people are renting the plots since May, I can't believe what it looks like in this short time, what the gardeners have been able to do. It's quite amazing. I want to thank the City Council for providing the funding for this project. I know that they really care about the health and wellness of this community, and there's no better project than a community garden to support that ideal. And then finally, I just also want to recognize the hard work of all the staff, especially Brian Gathers and the grounds crew, as well as the CIP group and Susan Michael and Chad Mosley. I also want to just extend the congratulations on behalf of Roger Lee, our Public Works Director, who worked tirelessly on this project, who isn't able to be here either today. But I'm very proud and honored to work with all of you, and I just appreciate all the efforts you put into this project to make it happen. So thank you, and welcome.
As we all know, all this project is not possible without a lot of detailed thought going into it. And one of the challenge they have is the rodent problem. If you are wondering why do we have these blinders around the gate, it's actually so that the squirrels cannot see inside, even though we cannot see inside either. And then there are a lot of detailed design underground and at the gate. I think there are still small issues to resolve, but then we are continuing to improve them. It's I think a lot more detailed thought has been put into the garden in a lot of design. And I thank everyone for all your work to make this possible and then continuing to make improvement. So then, without further ado, let's start the opening ribbon cutting.
Here. Put your scissors in here. There you go. Bigger tomatoes, bigger zucchini. Stay away, squirrel.